The topic of the ego continues to be front and center with me as I am getting more acquainted with the intricacies of that in my own journey. I don't expect people to agree with my thoughts on this, and it could be quite upsetting, depending to the degree of how much you still identify with your ego. What I'm about to say could be upsetting is what I mean. Coming to the conclusion, and while I don't like concrete and fixed statements like that, I am coming to the conclusion that ego cannot participate in anything to do with quote-unquote paradise or heaven. Ego cannot enter there because when it does, paradise is lost. It's just not a possibility. Some would say you can tame ego and turn it into that quote-unquote submissive wife, referencing the Bible analogy, but personally I do not see that as a possibility because of the very nature of what ego is. Ego is a pseudo-identity that's not real. It's a personification, a persona that has to be self-centered in order to maintain its existence. Ego can only exist with the terms of me, myself, and I, because it is a complete self-interest. I'm talking about ego self now, this pseudo persona that we think we are. And ego is only concerned with self-preservation, with self-securing, and winning at all costs. If ego cannot self-preserve, if it cannot win, it can't exist. So ego needs competition. Ego needs striving. Ego needs... It's just... As they say, flesh and blood can't enter heaven. Well, ego cannot enter into that realm. And I watch YouTube videos about democracy and freedom. It's a futile endeavor because all we're doing is pushing around the blocks of different egos into different positions. But ego is still center stage at everything we're doing here. I understand more now what it means to be in the world but not of it. I am not of this world, this system. I've got no problem getting along in harmony with nature. That's not the world that it's talking about. Nature is beautiful. Nature is not contrary in any way, but the system, the artificial system that we call our life and lifestyle is egocentric and ego based. And the more I dissolve this ego in me, the less I am part of this world and the less I want to participate. This zoo, I just can't stand this zoo anymore. This artificial, toxic hologram. You can't partner with ego. You cannot partner with ego because it's going to claim its stake in the partnership. It's going to keep claiming its stake and creating this push-pull duality dynamic. That is the self that Jesus said needs to be crucified. And it does need to be crucified. It can't remain, not even in 10%. It's like holding on to 10% of fear-based, insecure survival energy. You cannot have that there. Ego cannot enter in to heaven on earth. So I don't know. It'll be impossible to rid the world and humanity of their ego. I don't know how it's gonna go down. And perhaps this will just go on the way it is. And I'm just going to pass away with my consciousness and simply not return. And this ego existence here goes on until humanity has extinct itself. I'm sorry if I sound so melodramatic, but ego is a problem. Ego is a giant problem. And while I might extract myself out of the world of ego, just for myself, maybe I can only save myself. Maybe I'm not here to save the world. Because how can I infringe on somebody else's egoic experience? I can't. It's not my right. It's not within my power. But it is in my power to let go of my own ego and to not be a participant in the egoic game. Yeah, you cannot marry your ego. I think ego is an aspect of mind that is all to itself. It's mind in itself is not bad, but the ego persona that has formed around it, based on our lower instinctual emotions and energies, that is a true beast. That's the animalistic nature that we know of mankind. And it cannot remain. It cannot remain. I'm sorry to those of you who think you can marry your ego. No. Maybe maybe you have not experienced it to its wily depths. Sneakiness is sneaky. Ego will always cause harm to someone else because its nature is to look out for its self-interest. So I don't know. I'm not sure what ego is. I think to call it Satan and the God of this world is probably the proper description. Yeah. A whole lot of rambling, eh? A whole lot of rambling. But I feel the restlessness that ego stirs in me, and my ego is pretty much, it's quite a bit under control and suppressed and tamed, and still I can feel it rise in me and disturb the rest of my soul, and I don't like it. It can't be in partnership with me. At least not if you want to experience the reality of heaven or paradise, of non-duality.